Hello traders and welcome to this Bitcoin technical, order-flow, on-chain and macro analysis video. You see I'm using all the four layers to analyze Bitcoin for the next few weeks or even, next few days especially, right? Because we first focus on trading. So I will be showing you all my views. It's going to be a pretty long video, but again, this is the best free content out there. Bitcoin actually has perfect storm to, for that pullback we are experiencing, and there is even further weakness possible. I want to show you all the reasons why. So in the first part of the video, we'll go over macro analysis. I'll be showing you some options which are putting link on the price. Bitcoin treasury narrative is getting wrecked. Also, we have Q3 ending and soon Q4 is starting, and we tend to see a lot of profit taking in Q3. So it's not a surprise the price is suppressed. We also have technical picture looking. We will go over that in the second portion of the video. And I'll be also telling you about FOMC. And also in the second portion of the video, we will go over order flow analysis of very complex modules. So let's start now. So what I want to show you first, one of the main reasons Bitcoin is, and the overall altcoins are pretty weak as well, we can go to Deribit. Deribit is still the biggest market for options, and we can see when we scroll down. By the way, I will be doing educational modules on options in our group in next 1 or 2 months, but I already show you a bit of data, and I think it's going to be pretty easy for you to understand. On 26th of September, we have the biggest option expiry ever. Yes, look at that, calls and strikes. We will need to change this to 26th of September so we see exactly what's the distribution. 17 billion is notional value. This is record value. I'm not sure I've seen such big option on one day for Bitcoin. We can see calls, people expecting upside on options, like they were expecting, like the biggest options are on 140k. It's even showing you in the future is going to be huge barrier. But we can see so many people are bullish on all those big levels. 115k we are currently trading under, like we already are reacting. If this option expiry goes off on 26th of September, many people will not be able to book nice profits. I personally think when we check the price, because if you have option, you have option to book profits early, before option decays and this gets destroyed. I think people were pretty greedy when we are trading here in these regions. And yes, probably some people book profits at all-time highs. Then we've seen pullback because on option markets we've seen volume declines. But I think many people were greedy for much larger targets, especially 140k. Like there is like huge volume there. So and I think option makers and market makers, they are trying to put a lid on the market before that option expiry goes. We've seen this is not random. We've seen that many times in the past. The larger the option is, the more incentive is to defend specific levels. And if we actually are below 110k on that level when the option expiry goes off, we will cause the maximum pain in the market. Most of the market participants who are expecting upside will be, their options will be worthless or just in like very small profit or even bad loss. So yes, I think this is 110k is going to be pivotal until we get there. We still have like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 3 days to go, we can say, because this is going off in the morning. So this is one of the first reasons Bitcoin, they are trying to suppress the price so not many people make profit on options. It's still possible market will go down below 110k or will be defended, we will see. But again, 110k is now big barrier. It can still act as a magnet for the price. So option was one of the reasons. The second option, yes, is not ending with here. There is another metric you can use. Again, I will be doing tutorial for this, but basically I can actually find you the post. Screenshot is better because today I was doing that. Options earlier here, yes. So today on this yellow line, yes, this is often like hedging activities are occurring here with the skew constant maturity when it's based on 3 days and 7 days, like I don't want to overcomplicate this, but you can hedge with options, with short-term options against volatility and against your portfolios. But if too much fear or greed is happening on the market, we tend to see usually Bitcoin fluctuates around zero. But when we see fear or greed in the market or just big hedging activity, we tend to deviate beyond fives, +5 or -5. Around -5 and 6, we tend to see like lots of reversals in the market for the past year, yes. And especially since ETFs, I'm watching this, yes, because these become more prominent. Like now, like big entities have so many tools in US to use this effectively. So, and like today when this is daily graph, so you need to go to 1 hour graph to see this precisely. And today we've reached -6. Actually, we went beyond -6. We went to -7. So based on historical basis, you've seen Bitcoin bottomed out many times around this 6-7 region. If you actually don't stop here, you can still get closer to -10. These were like more larger deviations. You can check why. These were tariffs, I think, here, of course, March, April. And when we go below 10 to -15 in this band, this is capitulation in the markets. So just remember this. If we will see in the future capitulation into these bands and Bitcoin drops like 5 to 10k, is going to be our big opportunity. And not just from option markets, we will of course see that in our order flow tools, but this is, you can use options as additional layer of confluence. This is just still very basic explanation. I will be doing more modules on this. But today we've reached that extreme where we've reversed many times in the past. So today, when traders were asking, I was providing very clear opinion. Option market says we will see local range or at least bounce as we reach -5 to -6, turning point for many times in the past. So today, when I was trading, I want to go over my trading just a bit later. But again, I told the traders, we will see range or we will continue bleeding. I was not expecting big upside, yes, like today. Not yet, because we have so much selling pressure on perpetual markets anyway. So you need to be in hedge and you need to take in profit in. But it's important to know, like the fear was like very substantial here. This was EPA drop, which we'll be explaining in second portion of the video. Very big drop, massive liquidations, all the EPA metrics are getting very high. So here was good opportunity for long, and then we were just trading the range bound environment. But again, that option expiry, just wait for 26th of September. Historically, when big option goes off, you can even see magically, like look at these suppressions, yeah? These are suppressions from these entities, like everybody's cooperating in this world. Bitcoin is not so big asset class. It can still be easily manipulated on paper Bitcoin. No problem. Look at those sell walls, yeah, like this is weekend sideways, yeah, like so many big sell walls were happening here with constant 2000 Bitcoin on the sell pressure in Binance. Even right now, Bitcoin wanted to bounce, Bitcoin wanted to close, inefficiency pushed higher, but look at those entities, yeah, they are putting hundreds and thousands of Bitcoins to protect upside, like to protect market from getting higher. Yeah, so these entities are definitely defending the option barrier, which is going off in few days. So just keep an eye on these guys. Yes, I think it's pretty crucial. So option expiry was one of the reasons. It's still putting lead on the market, while when it expires we tend to bounce. Yeah, so I will watching on 26th of September when we expire in the morning my time. If we will bounce, we'll watch it live. So let's go for more reasons. So option markets, one of the reasons we see weakness. Second reason is Bitcoin treasury narrative is getting wrecked. I have the file here. MicroStrategy, I think I have it open. Let's see. Yes, over here. So you need to know a bit about Michael Saylor. I recommend you doing research. It's pretty much here. Let's go here, for example. It's my very favorite stock because I made really good profits on that over the years. So let's go here. MicroStrategy is the biggest proxy, like the most volatile proxy, one of the most volatile and biggest market cap proxies against Bitcoin. To our time frame, I even have some TA here. So Bitcoin, how much is Bitcoin down currently from all-time highs? It's down 9%. And MicroStrategy is down from its high during July, 29%. You see 3 times more to the downside, larger move to the downside. You know, Michael Saylor is the biggest owner of the Bitcoin. Yeah, they, I mean, as a private institution in US, they own, I think, 6,500 Bitcoins. Yeah, so it's huge number of Bitcoins. And the first time in the MicroStrategy history, Michael Saylor said he will be selling Bitcoin to find MicroStrategy dividends in worst case scenario. Short seller, I mean, you can read the article, I can leave it in description, but he basically says if we get the bear market on Bitcoin, he will be selling some of the Bitcoin. Like, whole reason he's getting into Bitcoin, he will be selling that underlying asset. I see this as a future problem. Many times in the past, I will just try one search in the group. Treasury risk. This is how we will search it. Let's see. Maybe we'll not find it like that. Let's see if it's in investing heroes. No. Never mind. I was doing multiple posts in our group in both Discords where I said treasury companies, all the treasury companies for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even other assets, they are a future risk for the Bitcoin, because ultimately if we get bear market, yes, for whatever reason, they need to pay their obligations, they need to pay their debts, because they are issuing stock and they are buying for that stock, and they are using other instruments, like they're pretty advanced in this. They need to buy Bitcoin for that, and they will be paying their debts, right? So they need to sell a bit of their Bitcoin as well. And when we get bear market, their shares will be falling. Bitcoin is falling as their underlying asset, and they need to sell that Bitcoin as well. So they'll be actually making bear market worse. And that's why is not only MicroStrategy, but many, if I open the link here, I have another link, just probably here. So many links, it's let's go here into the yes, we had one more link, and don't know where it is. Maybe it was I was posting it earlier, where they say many of the treasury companies are in big minus already. So it's like, let me check. I think Pipe was one of them. Pipe. No, it's not this one. Let me check. Yeah, you can even see this article as well. Like, there are plenty of them. I just want to mention this because I think this is destroying sentiment for the past few weeks. Like, we are closing the MNAV premium. Like, these companies were trading very high premium in like just a few months back, and now as the premium is going down and they are actually getting into negative territories, this is creating extra pressure. I think market is seeing through, and I think market doesn't like so many Bitcoin treasury companies because they present future risk. And even Saylor said he's going to be future risk for Bitcoin. Maybe I will be selling a few shares tomorrow of MicroStrategy to get back into Bitcoin, because ultimately when we get bear market, of course, I'm not saying we are getting bear market, but when we get one, MicroStrategy shares can really dump to very low levels. Then you will be rebuying them much cheaper. We are at the second phase of the bull market in crypto, and you need to book profits. You don't buy as much here. Yeah, you see where I was buying MicroStrategy here, but I don't want to go over like too much off topic. So this is secondary reason the crypto is very weak. The market is, I think there is already some selling from some of those companies which are selling. Like today there was a message, one company lost 90% of market cap, which is holding like 5,700 Bitcoins. Yeah, so they trade with such a crazy low premium against their Bitcoin. So market doesn't like these treasury companies. and the volatility is just insane. So this is another reason. This was very strong narrative. Like, remember, treasury companies were driving Bitcoin and Ethereum higher. So this is future risk for Bitcoin, not only in bear market, but again, if sentiment turns as it turned now, it's outstretching moves to the downside. So this is second blow to the Bitcoin. Another blow is not blow, but this is just statistical. We need to go for quarters, right? So you can see I have, so let's see which one is which. I believe that I have just this quarter 3 and quarter 2. So right now, we will be talking just a bit about seasonality. So last quarter 3, look what happened last quarter 3 in 2024, which was still our bull market, middle, like even early stage of the bull market. We can say we are going sideways pretty much. Very, very large range was established. What we are doing since quarter 3 started this year, what we are doing, we're just going sideways now. Look at that. Yes, we can even return here. So we go sideways, and this is not unexpected. Like we tend to just give up gains made in August during September, and Bitcoin is just doing that thing. And you need to combine this with the seasonality. I will show you this briefly. Seasonality, where are you? So many tabs here. ETFs, here we are. What I also noticed, and not just me, but some market participants as well, during the when we have the late stage of the bull market, because I definitely think we are in a second portion of the bull market, because we are far away from halving, and we just spent a lot of time already in the bull market. So in 2021 we had negative September. So right now we are giving up gains made in September. And in 2017, we also had very strong bull market. We also are giving up the gains. So it's possible we will actually end up September very slightly positive or even negative. And then you know what happens. Yes, October, November, and December, the last quarter of the year tends to be the strongest time for Bitcoin. So this is seasonality. And then we go here. Look what happened last quarter. Yes, we've seen that big pump to the upside. Even the previous year, 2023, I'm just monitoring mainly what happened during our current bull market, and especially since ETFs, right? Because ETFs are just a game changer. So yes, I'm waiting patiently for new quarter start. It's also like you had, like, when I turn on the quarter 2, we've had like very, very fast and very big gains in the crypto market. So it's possible some market entities are distributing their profits, and they are booking profits in this quarter to just close books so they look good, because they have to do it. And in quarter 4 there will be influx of the new money. So what you need to watch for, like same like last year, you see, like when we started quarter 4, Bitcoin was still going a bit to the downside. There was even like chop first 2-3 weeks. So October still can be choppy, like first 2-3 weeks. And then the biggest pumps we do in crypto markets in the second portion of the October and November, and into the December Santa Claus rally a bit equities. That's what I'm watching as a default scenario on Bitcoin. But this is like heavy prediction. But let's see how it all ends, right? So I will not be surprised if you will just give up all the quarter 3 gains. So I'll be watching these lows as well, but we will be talking about this in technical analysis. So this is another reason. Quarter 3 ending, always profit taking and rebalancing of the books. It doesn't have to mean as much for Bitcoin, because again we are look at the massive lag. Yeah. Equities at new all-time highs, and the crypto going super opposite. Why? Yeah, because again there is some rebalancing in quarter. It doesn't have to be any other reason. Yeah, let's go further. So we went over market influx. Technical picture we will go just in a minute, and final words about people who bought into FOMC got trapped. So my expectation for FOMC were shown in previous YouTube video. Actually, I was expecting downside for the markets, but you know what is funny? Like this whole analysis I did in previous video, I was sharing, this actually happened not for equities, but for crypto, which means FOMC FOMC put top on crypto, and you know what's the reason? We call this, so let's go, I need to find where I have these economic calendar events. Yes, here we need to turn on the FOMC. FOMC is turned on, very good. So we go for 1 hour time frame. What I recommend you as a trader, please download the economic calendar events into your trading view, and you can actually backtest what happened on Bitcoin and equities for the past few years based on results. And yes, it's gonna take you maybe 1 week, but you will never be surprised what happens from FOMCs, yeah, for example, or CPIs. You can see FOMC can have an impact on price. Yeah, like here, look at the big pump, move to the downside after that, again move to the downside, and this FOMC was also pivotal. Yes, people bought the dip on FOMC, but you see what was happening as we are leading into the FOMC. Like I think whole September people were building positions in crypto, especially equities, of course, but equities are far less leveraged, far less, and they are far less risky than crypto itself. I think whole crypto market was building positions into FOMC. We've got the dip. People think, all right, we survived. This market is getting it bought with equities, but now it's problem. Like if you lose the critical level where people were market was trying to rinse them on FOMC drop in the when Powell was speaking, this is over. This is over because even people who bought the dip after Powell, they got trapped. And now also people who are buying into FOMC, this is called buying the rumor but selling the fact. They are now selling the fact. Okay, so it's really possible we can give up September gains. Okay, and like Q3 gains as well, which will be somewhere here. So I'm not surprised by the Bitcoin. I'm not surprised by the everything. Is like perfect storm for Bitcoin from all those things I'm showing you. Okay. So reason for weakness, we went from the macro. So we need to be patiently waiting for Q4 start. We need to patiently wait for the option expiry. These next few days can be pretty hard for Bitcoin still, and we need to wait for the quarter to end. FOMC people are getting already destroyed. We will go over that in Orderflow. Now what we will do, I will return back to my corner, and I will return back to analysis what I was doing for today, because I don't want to miss anything in analysis. We will actually start with, I don't need those posts. I just want to show you technical analysis. I want to show you my trading today, so it's going to be combined, and then we go to order flow. So you see macro is in a perfect storm for Bitcoin for this pullback. Many people are actually bullish here. The one simple thing you can do, even if you don't know anything about auction market theory or on anything, you should be using VRVPE profiles, yes, on TradingView. This is super basic tool, but it's basically showing you where is the most volume, where was the most volume traded in the market, and just with this basic view, you can clearly see here we've had a 6 weeks distribution in the market, and we just started kissing the point of control, like the highest volume traded out of that distribution. And I told our traders very clearly, this is going to be inflection point. I'm looking for short here. Let me turn on that beautiful thing, yes, rectangle here, turned on, boom. This was trade area. When I can turn off this, you will see all the trade areas I had, and I still have in the chart. Let's remove day trading turned on. Yes, here we are. So first trade area was chopped here. A lot of chop here, but still we were trading that range. Second area, if that fails, was here. And then the primary area for like even larger short was here. So the secondary area gave us that beautiful reaction. And we still, like here I had here that trade area gave us like 2 trades. I just made it smaller, but it's still valid for the future. So you see, we went from one big trade area, like these trade areas I'll focus more on swing trades. We went there. Our traders were very happy because they knew we hit my targeted short area. Everybody who was waiting for 6 week point of control was getting front run. The reason was we had liquidity. Like if you move here, you already destroyed lots of people who were shorting for the past few weeks. So moving here was enough for the market to reverse to the downside. You didn't need to, everybody waiting for the 6 weeks front run. Yeah, and we just moved down. I was actually not riding this on Bitcoin, but on Ethereum. Sometimes it happened. I do cross asset trading, and Ethereum gave me very clear short here, and actually I missed the alert here. and then I was not riding this. But Ethereum, wow, it was even large move to the downside. Fantastic, you know. So let's return back to VRVP profile. And now this is the beauty of it. So you see distribution was getting hit. It's so simple. Like if you reclaim this area, like this whole box, you will open road for all-time highs pretty much, and you will be, you know, creating new value and volumes there. We failed to do so, so it means it's pretty negative reaction. But you see when I zoom in, I don't want to check volume from this range for now. Just want to go like this. Do you see where did we stop? 1 hour time frame. When we now check the impulse, I'm just checking right now the naked volume, yeah, the volume which was pushing from September, and you see move to the downside. Here was the 10-day distribution. You had 10 days to get into shorts as well. It was pretty cool. Do you see this? Yes, very low volume, so you pretty much don't expect any reaction. When we lost this key level, yes, when people bought the Powell, when we were losing the local top range, here I will absolutely not touch Bitcoin on the long side, because here no volume and we can easily move through it like a butter, I mean like a knife through butter. But right now you see where the first stability started, secondary high volume node from this range, and we still have this naked. Here we have naked point of control. So this is what you will be watching next, is around 111k. We have perpetual market beats there, so you will be watching that. Just wanted to show you a very simplified method. And if I zoom out even further, and I don't want to show you any AMT or a range pulls or nothing, we go to 2 hour time frame. Look where Bitcoin stopped. Yes, we need to go like this, so we now see full ranges. So this is another pretty long rotation from 8th of May until 10th of July. So lots of time, like 6 weeks, I think. Look where Bitcoin stopped. It was first strong high volume node from that range. This was bullish retest because you didn't even went for the main distribution. In case we lose this low in the future, we have multiple lows to be taken out. Massive liquidity buildup is here, but you can find stability here and bounce from here and boom to the upside. So please, you can simplify a bit with the volumes and watch this. This is so good. Let's now return back to my classical technical analysis. Let's hide this. So you can see how everything makes sense currently. Symmetry, I think I was going over in previous video. You can notice this initial pump was 9.9%, and this pump was around 10%, so very close to this initial impulse. It's not a surprise we see pullback, but I want to show you, in case we lose, just want to remind you, anything is possible next few days and even 2-3 weeks. Until October starts, second half. Again, we haven't completed the fractal from previous all-time high where we had 17% pullback, and 17% pullback is still waiting around 101k. If this low is getting lost, it's only based on that, it's like binary. If this is getting lost, liquidity getting grabbed, we will very likely go below this low. We have inefficiency to be filled here, and right when we feel inefficiency, which is ending somewhere here, you have 17% target, which is gonna be repeating fractal all-time high swing failure pattern which happened here. Yeah. In case Bitcoin goes for much deeper breakdown, and this is going to be needs to be supported by the equities and global breakdowns. Very likely some crazy jobs lost can trigger this, yeah, because market will be feeling recession. In recession, this can be absolutely easily done, such pullback on Bitcoin, yeah. So you will need macro cooperating for such the pullback. But right now, baseline scenario, in case 107k doesn't hold, is to go here, 103k, okay. So we still didn't complete that symmetry. Summer range, well, summer range is not even no longer summer, so we don't need to watch that. Market structures, they are bringing ultimate clarity. You see, I was speaking about this market structure for a very long time. We can be finding resistance here. We tried, pushing out, but we failed, and we've got the local swing failure pattern. Some of our traders got in. This was the most tight swing failure pattern you could even get. Crazy, like 20-1 short out of that, very locally, super nice. And right now you see what's the problem. You see what's the problem locally. This is market structure, which was resistance for us 3 times. And what you needed to do on the pullback, This was one of my scenarios to grab these lows and do like range ideally above it or inside it and push up. Yes, but right now we do opposite thing. Yes, we are creating range, but we are ejecting out of the market structure, which is not really good, because again you then return back to this box. Yes. You are returning back to the box. So yeah, not ideal for the Bitcoin from this point of view. If you want to see more upside, this high needs to be taken, then you will be feeling the inefficiency into the range, and then you will be looking for resistance out of that range from point of control. I will show you just a sec. And that previous, like, we are still a like more older market structure, which was starting to be providing support here, then some lot of chop, but now we are back testing after some time. So again, it's acting as a zone. But yeah, not ideal, this scenario. And if we lose this area, then again we open road for, we might create another local range here, right, in these regions. 110k defended heavily on option markets, on actually in the order books as well. So very likely there will be new range showing up here, and you have some lows to be taken, ideally all of them. Then you create new range. You don't have to go directly for the lows, like nothing. You can move in straight line, but it's less likely on Bitcoin. Yeah. Impulse liquidity, this was actually perfect. So this was final target for us, because people who were shorting all the impulse to the downside with leverage, their liquidations in Tradingdifferent was showing us exactly this area. Once you run it, you know, it was one of the reasons I had trade area here. You move to the downside, everything is making sense. Is not a surprise for us. We, you know, this was super cheeky, but another reason, I think, if we come closer to 107k, 107,500, if this is lost, you see we had only marginally tight swing failure pattern, which means people from here were not stopped out properly. People from here were not stopped out from this low properly. There is massive liquidity build up, and it's very likely you will grab all of it. So once we come here, it's going to be very, very interesting, and I expect massive volatility in the market. If I show you trap traders, you will see that here I have this yellow line here, which is set for selling, because here, if I zoom in, this was very large open interest increase in the past. These are breakout longs with 10k BTC breaking out of here, and they will be invalidated if we go below the yellow line. So you see many people will be invalidated below that line. You will not fight it, you will let it run, and only then you will engage with the longs. So that's more, that's when we come here. Yeah, but again, for now we are still ranging here, so you should be trading that range first anyway. And now AMT, the final boss of everything, is gonna be bringing you ultimate clarity. Let's go to 1 hour time frame so you see everything very clearly. We'll even make this smaller so we see that. So we've seen Bitcoin was trying to get acceptance into this range. We were ejecting again, trade area played out. Then we were ranging for 10 nice days. Nice day 10. We were trading this range beautifully. Here is your warning sign, and a big problem for Bitcoin. You are losing 10-day val, and you are losing all those kilos from Powell and from the range. So here, move to the downside 1-to-1. Yeah, we did 1-to-1 move to the downside out of that range. You can clearly see when you go from this high to from this low to this high, it's 1-to-1 move. So that's what we usually get when we have impulse. When you have impulse to the upside and very limited support, then you do 1-to-1 move out of this range. Yeah, I can show you that what I mean even with this box. So we can do even like smaller pull, but I think this pull will be also okay. And now we'll take it here. Almost reached. Yeah, so pretty similar, like almost 1-to-1. We had very little range here during first day, but yeah, it was not enough to stop the market. But you know where you will find this support? Well, it's of course when I turn on, we need high volume nodes now. Even here, you see how this range was getting created. Yeah, it was created from that previous high volume node. I even left it just for the video. When I hide this, this is what we often get when we push. we push, we rotate the range almost completely, and then we start creating new local range in the previous, in the range we accepted. In that high volume node, the new local range is getting created. This is fractal situation we tend to see. I will delete this down because it doesn't play any role now. You need to watch now the naked volumes and the volumes we built. So clearly we now are, and this is another interesting thing, we are trying to, like, we've spent outside of the 2 weeks VWAP only 2 hours today, so market is not looking strong yet. You know, strong market would be looking like this, push to the upside, and then you will be building new value here, and then you will be filling continuously the inefficiency which is ending here, and then working on it. Yeah, but right now we are trying to get acceptance into the 2 weeks VWAP. While you are trading above 113,000, you are focusing on trading local range, or you expect the bleed, which means you can be long from the range extremes, and only when you start building new value above 2 weeks VWAP, you go above this high without swing failure pattern, then you will be adding to your trade and you will be riding it. You need to play this very, very safe, because right now, again, market is trying to get acceptance into this range. What was actually really good, we front run the 2 weeks high volume node from that range. So, and what I'm looking for in the future, can happen in next 12 hours or like 2 days, doesn't matter. If this low is taken, this is high volume low, so there is potential for nice swing failure pattern. What I will be looking for next is the point of control trade. Potentially we get scalp at least, or we get new day trade, and this is like market will be creating expanded range here. That's what I'll be looking for. If this point of control is lost, is very likely we will be moving for these lows here. Yeah, this is curved liquidity. You see higher lows, so this can be run for the swing failure pattern, or you will actually go for this low, which is now at 2 weeks val, and you have another low here, so you can see the wick here, or you will see more shallow. Yeah, but again, another very good area opportunity. I don't have trade area here, but of course this is main trade area here. I will mark for our traders in the group like very soon. This is where I want to build new longs for the rest of the week. If this area of course fails, we go to fix very weak lows. So from AMT, it's very interesting. Again, we focus on trading a local range. We try to accept into the previous range, move to the upside, trade above the 2 weeks VWAP would be ideal. And it is low is lost, we will focus on range rotation, or if it doesn't hold the point of control and high volume node, then you will be doing final range rotation. So that's from more locally, and we still have the large pool from medium time frame to our time frame. We can have a look here. Here, this is going to be making even more sense. So you see, so I was showing you the local reasoning why the top was happening here, and the trade area, yes, which was over here. It was like the target of that trade area to give us nice reaction was also to run this high and then reject. And you see sometimes market doesn't have power to even go into very obvious level, but you see the distribution here was happening very like flat. Yeah, it's not peaky, it's not like this. Yeah, it's not like this, and you have the volumes here, and then the point of control is obvious resistance. It was like very heavy volumes were distributed in the like all the parts of the high volume node. So it was like whole high volume node was resistant. So maybe TPO even POG was here. We had like few naked point of controls there, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, if I zoom in. Yes, we are hitting multiple composite naked POG, weekend daily naked POG, TPO POG, yeah, before you even get to 6 weeks POG. So that was beautiful reaction to the downside. You had like 5% move to the downside. I had more on Ethereum, so it was fantastic. Right now you see it's more like like from this perspective is limbo, yeah, a bit, yeah, because you had 6 weeks range here ending over here, and then you had another like 2-month range here, which we did friendly visit into it, yeah, like here. Again, in the future, if you lose this, like I consider this high volume node now traded, is no longer naked. We have now another naked area. We might still see the reactions from here, but this low I think this low will be taken if we come to this point of control, and then inefficiency getting filled right into my trade area for swing trade from here. So this is another big trade area for the next few days or weeks, starting from 184k, and this is based on AMT only. AMT is the most powerful, so I have like standalone trade areas just for them. And overall, you can do one more pull. So if I hide everything, you see this pull is ending here, yeah, because it's focusing just on this box. Yes, just on this box. But we've had deviation down there as well, but the market returned back to this range. So you can have a secondary pull, and that pull is like this. You will be starting here, and you will pull up there. And from that perspective, you now want to fight for that value, value area low reclaim. So another reason market like bears are trying to fight so much, and they don't want to close much above 113k is to stay below to this like how old is this pool? From 9th of July, 9th of August, so it's like over 2 months. So in case we start leaving local range and we will reclaim this val, 2-month val, then it's gonna improve the Bitcoin technical picture and we can feel more inefficiency. Yes. So this is secondary pull you can watch. Anchor VWAPs, we have plenty. We have plenty. First, I will turn on only local ones, which matter for the current price action right now. 50-minute time frame. So your 30-minute time frame. So since we topped out here, when you were shorting here, you like this anchor VWAP was providing you. It was signaling you your short is going well because bulls. Since that anchor VWAP got established from the high, bulls had no power to even breach it. Yeah, so we still continuously trading below down, and this is like measuring and controlling a downtrend. So this was good signal for you. And the local September pump, we can call it pump, is just upside. We've seen that lost. Yes, we've seen that lost. Now we are trading below. Again, if you want to see our long from the week or from the range lows doing well, this needs to be reclaimed. Yes, it's gonna open road for higher. So those are more like local anchor VWAPs, and I still want to mention those higher time frame ones. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. I was talking in previous video, we need to establish new range out of those 2 last anchor VWAPs on my chart. We did so, yes, we even tried to reclaim, but we failed to like start to retesting this bullishly and continue higher, so this was warning sign. And once this anchor VWAP got lost, market again got very, very sad, because again this anchor VWAP is measuring volume from 98k, is like last impulse to the upside. So losing this is always very bad for the market. Plus you now trade again below all-time high anchor VWAP. So it's not ideal. And these bands are still support for the Bitcoin. So again, we will be looking for new long opportunities in this box as well, along like you already need to be long from this range because you are playing the local distributions anyway. Yeah, but again, if this is lost, we will be using this whole band as a area of interest. Fibonacci I use only on high time frames, on a medium time frame and higher. And you can see, as you can see, the beauty of it. Yeah, like we go for a pullback, we've had multiple, like it's only additional confluence. Algorithms no longer care, like in 2021 anyway. But you see, we kissed the 0.61 rejection, medium time frame ones, which were, anchored from here up to all-time highs. Then we held the pullback. So yes, they are additional confluence. They are nice. I just don't use them on small time frame. It's just too noisy. So this was pretty cool. And we do have still the balance zone, how it's looking. This pool we don't need to know. This is still good for range estimations. Let's turn on all the boxes. Yes. You see we are entering back into pink box. So again, the longer we stay below 113k, the new range rotation can happen again in the pink box. Just going to be expanded like this. And if you fail with the area, you know my target, right? You know we very likely go to 101k. Yeah, it's possible. If we don't, you know, stabilize and do EPA reversal after liquidity grab. So yep, so I'll be watching, but again, you still watch. And you see what was the push to the upside. Again, we created another smaller structure in this box. We didn't reach that 3.5, but it's okay because the market tried to do, you know, swing failure pattern from this high and not expand range further. And what we are doing from high time frame, I think we are still not even close to this range. Yes, we are still far away. But again, if we start losing, you know, 107k, don't forget we have 7-month point of control and 7-month high volume node where we'll be looking for market stability, creating local range, the medium time frame bounce out of this area. It's gonna be overlapping the medium time, I mean the VA from medium time frame. You see how the trade area is placed right here. So you have like so much confluence in this area. Very, very interesting. So that's from technical analysis. I'm not going over all the folders, so video is not like 2 hours, but it's, I think, is more than enough. Now we can talk about order flow. Let me show you some group posts first, what I was trading. And like today we went long. My analysis will continue with the order flow. I don't want to go over that, but I just want to show you. Oh yeah, this was really good post as well, worth to share. So pretty much we were talking about today, because I was longing in the week, I had alerts. We are talking early in the London. This was not early, but in the London session, we had massive shorts placed here on where? On Binance, right? So they were over here. So we pretty much were focusing when we squeeze these shorts, they will provide another take profit on our long. It was very obvious where they are placed, and market ultimately squeezed them. So this was really cool. I was doing, so I was adding to my, so you see I was longing here in the area. I was adding to my week EPA long 15% as we are holding local val with bull CVD on spot. Like whole day you will see we had bull CVD, so this was pretty useful. Let's go down. But we arrived into the resistance area, like perpetual wall started to pressuring market up. So I took a bit of profit, and some of our traders were shorting here. I was not shorting here. I was more focusing on longs anyway. You see how these shorts we predicted, the market was arriving into them. We also trade about big shorts. Now they are trapped. It would be nice to squeeze them and fill the inefficiency. That's what we actually did, like very, very briefly after my posts. And the range which we've got after EPA drop was like we continuously see bull CVD on spot market and perpetual. So it was not surprising we see the range. I think one of the biggest winning in trading is to know when market will be ranging and not trending against your entry. So because again you can pull a lot of money for intraday basis in the range. So bull CVD was helping us. This was immediate efficiency to be run, and that's what we actually accomplished that day. We finished this, we destroyed the shorts down here, I think, and then we started reversing and continuously ranging. Here we are, these shorts which we noticed are now getting destroyed, and the market then reversed because we like burned only visible fuel in the system. You see that equities are at all-time highs. Bitcoin and crypto are going down again for all those reasons I was mentioning in the first portion of the video. And it's pretty surprising even after so many things, because even dollar is weakening, so crypto should be with all-time highs with equities, but it's not. Again, it has own narrative, and it's just breaking the correlation, okay? We had another look at the highs, at the lows of the range, another bullish CVD, market was pushing higher. look at like how much equities are pushing Bitcoin, was doing nothing. So it was very surprising to see such a weakness. Ultimately, this was gap close as well set up, and then we started moving down. New range rotation was underway. Another bull CVD was happening here. I was also, you see, here was my primary long. It was final adding because I was taking some profits at range highs. Then I was taking long. Here is take profit 1 to make me risk free for the stop loss. Here is the very active scalping, yes, of those positions. Add a building position, taking profit, adding to position, then, you know, taking profit again. This is what you do. This is your daily bread. This is the trading. We were going for the new range rotation. We almost got it. Like, it was front run very, very closely. So again, we like whole day on mine, we were focusing on just trading that range. But you know, there is such a heavy sell side. So you want to hedge with those perpetual walls on the short as well, and you want to take profit in front of them, the long. And that's what is happening like now during Asia when I'm making this video. I also had some Ethereum trades, like this one. This was a very easy long for me on Ethereum. This actually even stabilized Bitcoin. Look at 15,000 longs, 15,000 Ethereum getting wrecked. This is EPA reversal. Relative volume spike is 5 to 10 times larger than previous candles on 2-minute time frame. So this is your, you know, peak of absorptions, peak of exhaustive price action, liquidations, and you put stop loss behind the wick and you go. And this setup is like signature setup for altcoins as well. And on Ethereum, look at the big drop. Yeah, on Ethereum we did a swing failure pattern from this low, but you don't want to come below this low because you have very limited support down to, like, you will be going into the previous range. So Ethereum better hold. It better hold that, yes. And liquidity grab, insane. Okay, so last part of the video is the order flow analysis. So let's see how Bitcoin is looking from all the tools we are using. We can start with Tradingdifferent. So we see Bitcoin as it was losing that 10-day of consolidation. This was the range liquidity from 10 days. This was the most immediate target. In most bullish markets, we tend to find stability here and bounce. This was the Bitcoin was going for secondary threshold right away. So less leveraged people also were taken out with wider stop losses. You see how Bitcoin took it. Yes, it took the yellow zone. It left maybe 10 or 20% of the node, and then we stabilized. So you see, this was the second max pain threshold. If I zoom out right now, we can see another huge liquidity buildup is right now at 107k, which is where we have, just a quick reminder, very weak lows. Yeah, the structure is super weak here with these lows as well. So this is going to be future target in case Bitcoin continues bleeding and is not going to stop after it grabs this liquidity from all these lows close together. Then you know what you will be looking for. You will be looking for this max pain, yes, down to 106k. So that's first thing we can look for. Order books. Notice another thing is going to be visible better in TRDR, but the buy side on the Bitcoin was pretty empty. I don't even see significant falls. You know what does it mean? It means the market makers and all entities who are making market, they pretty much left open doors for pullback on Bitcoin and altcoins. They didn't place any big walls on spot market to slow down the fall. I'm showing you Binance because Binance makes over 65% of the volume. So yes, they left the open door for pullback, and this is the reason. Look at the 110k. It's going to be future interesting barrier. 15k as well. We know it's also option barrier. There are some small spot walls. Someone is trying to fill a large order with small orders here, so we will watch that on the pullback. And the perpetual markets are like telling you complete story. You should be short from here, from daily view up. I was even telling after this I'm looking for short here, because all day you are trading below daily view up, and you have big shorts in order books like perpetual walls, so you can place stop loss behind them and ride it down. And of course, if you are longing, you take profit here. You also take profit here. And again, these walls are very likely to keep us contained until the option expiry goes off in 26th of September. They just protect and they want to cause as much pain as possible. This is like very big guy because it's over, when they added here, I think it's over 2000 bitcoins. That's very significant amount of money. Here is Ethereum. Someone is bidding close to the low, you can watch this. And perpetuals are also bidding very interestingly in these regions, 3800s. But yeah, I don't want to do Ethereum today. Okay, so Exocharts. So you see today we filled only one mission, like market had to fill the inefficiency here. That's what we did, and that's it. In the future we have more inefficiency in these regions. That's what I'll be watching. And you see those single prints, yes, in the inefficiency they are waiting. And we pretty much, if we now merge this together, we are still ranging in our range. We've had a bounce from here. I had multiple reasons. I told our traders I'm doing the largest adding, but I was also taking profit at the range, close to the range back. If this love is lost, I think we will feel the rest of the buying tail and go for this low. And here is gonna be decision point if we do swing failure pattern or not, because if we don't, then again we open road for deeper pullbacks, which we discussed. Let's have a look on Okotoki. How is market order book depth looking? So, and market is very weak when there is not as much people in the passive market sell side. On these two first columns are the most important spot markets, spot pairs, and there is not much Bitcoin on the sell side, and everybody is just very close to the price, and they don't let even you don't need as much big volume to push higher. But there was literally no demand. If I refresh the spot market, you had so many bullish CVDs, yeah, like you look here, yeah. Very likely, I think we will hear in 2-3 days seller was buying in this region. Yeah, of course, he's so visible. We go sideways, the delta is going down. It was cool, it was helping us, but nobody is buying on spot market, almost nobody. Just perpetuals a bit. Everybody is scared currently. Yes, even a few people are writing me, what do you think about Bitcoin? Is it over of the bull market? Well, yeah, it's I showed you all the pressure reasons on the Bitcoin, but again, we will be smarter in few days or weeks. Sometimes market needs time. Yeah, we can still have a big upside during Q4. Why not? If we don't get recession, crypto should catch up. It's just programmed to do it, yeah. But it has own narratives, it has own setups, which needs to play out first. Yeah, so absolutely nobody buying on spot market. So Okotoki showing us 110k should be on your watch. Interesting demand there on many exchanges. Is again option barrier, is round number. We will see how we will be doing with that area. And not much support. Yeah, it's pretty shallow order books. If we get like very large sell side, like if we get like very strong sell sides in spot volumes, your next support is like 105k. There we have decent defense on spot markets, but again, it's pretty shallow order books. Like haven't seen them for a while like that. People are very scared. Selling market participants, you can see where they are. You can see very clearly where they are, and they are so tight. Yeah, 113k, all the regions here. It's not even showing everybody in these regions. And much larger, we don't even need to talk about much larger. This is going to change in the future. We can go to TRDR now, and that's where I will be ending the video. This is very crucial. If you even open my previous video, you will see I was telling you I'm seeing many assets, I'm seeing many signals. We will find top in the region, and because we are distributing and spot pressure is very heavy here, so that's it actually played out. So that's where we were taking the shorts, and you can even see those thresholds here. What we see right now, I don't see order books giving us very high conviction in longs. What I want to see in the future from market is to, to see something similar like we've seen here or here or here, where we have spot market on Coinbase, like a very good ratio on there. For example, here we had 2 times more longs than shorts on Coinbase in the limit orders. I want to see very positive order book aggregation on all spot markets, not just Coinbase. And same thing I want to see from perpetual. So pretty much everybody is aligning to be long. Right now is a very different story. Look at that. We are seeing Coinbase neutral, so market is in fear or indecision. The aggregated spot market is not bad, but it's just 70 million. I'm looking here. 17 million extra on the buy side compared to sell side. So yes, we are positive. Is enough for local range. It was enough, but nowhere near the better ratios we had lower. I think when we get to 110k or 108k, we will get much better ratios because these older bids should be still there. Perpetuals 2.5 to 5% ratio neutral. That's insane. We had like so much negative pressure here, so this downside was like forced from them, and 0 to 5% negative. That's crazy, it's still negative, yeah, because these guys again are putting lead on the price, protecting the option barriers or whatever. So yeah, it's not like, I would say, just based on TRDR, it's not that likely this is the final low, this is the final range. If it is cool, I will be trading it, but I think we will see better ratios on the deeper pullback, sadly. Yeah, it is what it is. This was the largest aggregated delta decline since 25th of August. Very impulsive move to the downside. You see, in such cases, when we see multi-billion dollar aggregated move down, we tend to see at least local range forming, yes, like here, and we actually found the bottom, and then we get into medium time frame push to the upside. But right now it's looking more like this scenario, just smaller, more compressed range. Sometimes it's possible you do another move down on 1 to 2 aggregated billion negative delta, then you find the bottom. Is possible, but this was very exhaustive. Like longing the week was pretty good. At least for 1 to 2 days we had that beautiful range. It was expected. Yeah, this was such a heavy selling, So yeah, volumes are getting very serious here. And another exhaustive parameter met why max pain was reached here, and you actually got at least that initial move 1.4% was the liquidations. Yeah, already you caused some big pain here from you can see how you were stopping out people from 10-day range, but the more people who didn't have stop loss or whatever, they got destroyed in this candle, yeah, in this maximum pain. That's why you see the stability. That's why this was EPA reversal, okay? And we've got that high probability range and bounce. So max pain, like big pain on the market already done. You'll see if you get more liquidations on the move downs. I would expect them below here, below all these lows. CVD is not looking very bright. Binance continues to selling to the downside. Just Coinbase going sideways. Yeah, nobody's buying currently. Everybody in fear. When market turns, when narrative turns, when the quarter is ending, like again, perfect storm for Bitcoin. This is the template which is giving a bit more thresholds and clarity. We see spot markets are getting into positive thresholds, but again, perpetuals are not cooperating. This often results in local range, or market gets for deeper pullback, and then everybody aligns. Yeah, like perpetual aligns together with the spot market, thresholds getting larger, imbalances are getting created. Then you get the nice Binance bands here. Yes. So there is more room to go. I have a remaining position long in the local range. I will be stopped out, or I will be repositioned on the swing failure pattern. I am running short on Ethereum still as a swing short. This is my main hedge, so yeah, I'm fine. And again, even if you open my previous video, I was telling you like we are seeing that massive distributions right when we were at 117, 116k, and that's where we are turning. But you see if I zoom in, where are now the spot market bidding? So it's very likely Bitcoin will find support in this. It's very wide box. Of course, we will need to apply local order flow on this, but it's like box to box trading. Yeah, Bitcoin is like market is leaving room to fluctuate for Bitcoin in these boxes. Yes. 120k massive barrier for the future and 110k current barrier to watch. Even aggregated spot market orders are looking small. Yeah, we know. Yeah, very small. Like if I go into the history, you see market was very like more alive. Large orders. Right now, a lot of fear in the market and nobody willing to buy. They just open road for volatility and for pullbacks. And again, ultimately, here is our swing template, and this was not wrong. This was not wrong, and with this template alone, I was predicting we will again get another pullback from 117k, because these sell side ratios were like crazy here, crazy. 200 million extra on the sell side, very similar when we found tops in like previous months. What I will be waiting for, again, you know what I will be waiting for. Much better, stronger bands, positive thresholds on 0 to 5%. In this template, we watch only Binance. Bitget should not be even here, but it's not making dent. So mainly Binance, Coinbase, and I'm waiting for a bit stronger thresholds on both of these. And then the bands will be shown up. Top perpetual orders. We do have perpetual orders protecting the low. As we are approaching them, it's not going to show up, but we do have them. So it's going to be very interesting what we do here. It should help us with 6 weeks point of control bounce. 2 weeks point of control, sorry, into the swing failure pattern from this low and then bounce possible. They can be, this is what they are planning very likely from what I've seen. We know we have heavy sell side here in the perpetuals on Binance, and also heavy sell side is protecting the impulse as well. So, yep. Spot market demand area is starting from 110,500 down to 109,800. This is another area where it'll be interesting to buy with the spot markets. And we can open the whales, and you see what are the whales doing. So you see actually, like, I don't know, I think some Citadel, or I think past few months, like few months ago, there was an announcement Citadel is entering Bitcoin trading. This is very I need to research who they are. I think they are algo firm. They are trading other assets as well. And since they entered into Bitcoin, I'm seeing lots of these whales which are trying to trade the range. So maybe the whales, these whale walls are actually Citadel, because they have very similar size, 300 Bitcoins most of the time. They are playing range. I always see them when they enter, when they are escaping. And you see what was their intention past few days, yes? First, lots of orders getting filled. They filled, and they were filling profits. And then again, they were pressuring here. They were trying to build some profits, maybe take some profits as well. They have deep pockets anyway. Sell side pressure keeping us contained during the weekend, and now even on if market tries to bounce, they're keeping us contained again on the in this range. They're not letting us higher, so that's interesting. Yes, whale wall here, 110k. So yeah, we've seen. Did I mention where I want to look for short? I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I think I will be just reminding you where. So my short is going to be in this box, like very high reward ratio short, not just this local range. Is gonna be here in this, when you come to 10-day point of control retest, and then this high, like this whole box will be area of interest for me. Maybe even possible we will be retesting bearishly here. We come to this high and then we reject. So more areas to watch for short are here. For longs, I went over them. We are ready for all of them. And maybe final words about Bitcoin from general chat. I was making few posts here. Just want to do final reminder. So don't forget. Here is, by the way, that when the MNAV is dropping on treasury companies, that could force many companies to indiscriminately sell Bitcoin to pay their debt they used to buy. In turn, that could create a negative feedback loop, a selling pressure that drags down shares of crypto prices. Coinbase warned in June report. Actually, Coinbase interesting warn about this. So this is creating negative loop for crypto right now on Bitcoin. Maybe it's gonna be negated by the quarter inflows. Nobody will care. Just remember, treasury companies are future risk for Bitcoin. And yesterday we had the biggest liquidations of the year on all coins. So actually market washed everyone who was too long into FOMC, too long in quarter 3, too long in September. Everybody getting washed. Very good. And don't expect Bitcoin to be rising 20k candle a day. We can have much larger drops than upsides, but I don't think we will ever see like massive gold candles. Maybe we will see them, but I don't think they will be sustainable. Look where Bitcoin was getting, when many people were entering Bitcoin, like over 20% of supply was entering Bitcoin when it was around $100 or even less than $100, yeah. 50% of supply bought Bitcoin and, below 1,000, yes, Bitcoins, yes, here. And 70% of people were interacting with Bitcoin when it was below 10,000. So right now, that's why we see, as Bitcoin is increasing in value, we see multi-months distributions. This range here, was taking loads of time, like here as well, multi-month range. You need new money to come and replace, like if someone is selling Bitcoin, he bought for 10,000, someone is buying for 100,000, he is immediately getting into loss, or he is just going sideways on his investment. So these distributions will take months and years. Yes, I don't expect Bitcoin to go like crazy moves to the upside. Even if they go, we will pull back out of them. Same what we are seeing still right now. So much distribution. That's why when I have opened the swing template, she's showing me exactly these people are still distributing. Yeah, these people who bought Bitcoin very long time ago, even the miners as well. Yeah, we have a lot of pressure on Bitcoin. You need billions and billions and trillions to move this asset class, so it appreciates. One more thing, Bitcoin implied volatility right now is at historic lows. It means we tend to see, like when it's so low, historical volatility, we tend to see new trend or very explosive move in the volatility. In the past, it resulted to the upside. We will see if that's going to be case with quarter 4 inflows. But in case it's not, we might see like pretty large pullback again, because this such slow volatility is like it's like a bottle of champagne. The market is shaking, and then it's gonna explode, and it's gonna explode one way or another. Final thing I want to show you is the chart inspect. And we pretty much are still, let me turn on everything. We can fear, we will just keep optimism. Yeah, greed. You can notice, I like Onchain metrics. I'm not going to show you many of them. We have like so many to watch. But again, the Nupal, Nupal metrics is pretty precise, showing us intraday, the medium to high time frame highs. And if I zoom in here, we are still actually, yes, this is 124k new all-time high, and we were very overheated still here on this metric. So I'm not surprised seeing Bitcoin cooling down. It just needs to cool down a bit. Maybe we are still in optimism. No. Yes, we are in greed. Yes. Zone. So in my opinion, right now, when we are in the euphoria and greed levels, these are times when I'm taking profits, and I'm definitely not adding more Bitcoin to my stack, because I already did that mission in 2022, 2023. Right now it's time to take profits on Bitcoin, or just wait on the sidelines for the good dips. Because again, market is pretty high, even if it has still room to go. And you know what to do in the future. You want to look for capitulation lows or max pain. These are your beautiful bands, and in the future I do not doubt they will be working same as they did in previous cycles. But again, I can do Onchain video only in like once a month. I will do another one after September ends. Every month when we are starting, I will do new one. Alright traders, this was very complex video. How long? 1 hour 15. Yes. So I've shown you everything I know right now. We are ready for upside, for downside. Just survive next few days of chop, probable range or bleeding down until expiry goes, until we start new quarter, and things will be brighter. And watch the treasury narrative. It can be spinning in the news, and Bitcoin and crypto is very narrative driven. So if narrative breaks, people go in fear. And you will see that in treasury companies as well. Thank you for watching traders. If you like this video, just please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to learn how to see and trade market like me, join our group. You will not regret it. Thanks for watching. Bye.